di ayunan Merlion.
Emang ada ayunan di Merlion sekarang?
Ada di sebelah kirinya.
Kurang update saya.
Ya kalau yang jomblo ya sadar diri lah, jangan di ayunannya, di belakangnya, di pohonnya, yang dekat speaker itu tuh.
Dengan ayunan di Barelang loh.
Oke, karena udah jam 9:02, kita mulai aja ya. Hello everyone, welcome to our all hands meeting. And today we have special inspirational speaker, Kak Nizar. Hello Kak Nizar.
Halo semua.
Hello, okay. So we can start our all hands meeting from journey from Kak Nizar. Okay. From 2013 until 2017, Kak Nizar study at Universitas Islam Indonesia, take the Bachelor of Design Study in Architecture. Then from 2017 until 2019, take the Architecture. This is maybe a specialist for architecture.
Profesi.
Oh, the profesi. Okay, then from 2019 until 2022, become architect in GFAB Architect. And from 2022 until present is at Irin Design Studio as a principal architect. Okay. Kak Nizar,
Yes.
bisa sedikit ceritakan tentang perjalanan atau hal-hal unik yang terjadi antara 2013 sampai saat ini?
Unik ya. Mungkin lebih ke waktu saya kan kuliah di arsitektur di Jogja, di sebuah universitas swasta namanya UII, itu Universitas Islam Indonesia. Nah, saya itu mengambil arsitektur karena memang pada dasarnya suka menggambar dan sebagainya. Lalu kebetulan arsitektur itu juga mewadai itu. Akhirnya saya fokus di sana. Cuman uniknya waktu di kuliah itu dosen-dosen selalu bilang, di antara kalian ini yang jadi arsitek cuma 5% aja pasti. Sisanya pasti tidak akan menjadi arsitek. Bukan karena nggak mampu, tapi karena memang nggak di sana passionnya. Tapi dari 2013 sampai sekarang 2025, ya saya masih jadi arsitek ternyata.
Berarti Kak Nizar termasuk yang 5% itu ya?
Nah, untuk saat ini ya.
Oke, Kak Nizar, kita masuk ke sesi tanya dan jawab. Oke. Jadi saya akan nanti menanyakan 3 pertanyaan. Salah satunya yang pertama, berikan satu contoh proyek yang dimana keputusan desain mengadopsi budaya Bali atau kearifan lokal secara langsung yang dapat meningkatkan ROI, baik ADR, tingkat hunian ataupun review, untuk mempermudah operasional, pengambilan keputusan atau perubahan apa yang terjadi setelahnya.
Oke, aku langsung jawab ya. Saya langsung jawab. Ini kan berarti tentang keputusan desain.
Ya.
Adopsi budaya Bali lokal, lalu ke ROI, terus
ADR atau
operasional apa? Jadi kalau selama saya kan berpraktek dari 2019 ya, itu berarti udah tahun. Tapi mungkin di 5 tahun terakhir ini, pengalaman kami itu cukup menunjukkan fenomena yang ironis. Jadi kalau kita ngomongin ROI ya, ROI yang cepat itu kan klien, owner itu kan selalu pengen kapan nih ROI balik secepatnya dan sebagainya. Nah, yang cepat, proyek-proyek yang paling cepat dan cepat balik modal dan sebagainya itu justru yang bukan mengadopsi budaya Bali secara langsung. Melainkan yang tampil sangat berbeda di 5 tahun belakangan ini dari konteks lokal. Jadi mereka yang kayak apa, Mediterania dan Japanese itu yang paling umum. Nah, kami memiliki klien, owner 2 hotel di Uluwatu itu, nah ini ironis juga nih, mereka membeli hotel Bali yang lama,
Hmm.
hotel yang memang mengadopsi budaya Bali yang lama dan melakukan perubahan secara total, desain total. Satu hotel diubah menjadi gaya Mediterania dengan nuansa terakota yang kuat, lalu satu lagi jadi Japanese. Keduanya berhasil balik modal ROI dalam waktu 6 bulan setelah dibuka. Jadi kan cepat banget ya itu. Nah, secara visual desain ini sangat kuat di media digital. Traveloka, Booking.com itu cantik, mudah viral, dan cepat menarik pasar. Makanya tamu berdatangan, ratingnya 9 plus ke atas. Ulasannya terakhir saya cek itu kayak 3.000-an. Jadi memang banyak. Tapi ROI yang cepat ini itu memiliki harga yang mahal di sisi operasional. Nah, walaupun ROI-nya cepat, ternyata di sisi operasionalnya tidak. Nah, karena untuk menciptakan desain yang bisa dibilang tidak lahir dari konteks Bali ya, bangunan yang sangat berbeda, itu bangunan harus dipaksa melawan iklim tropis. Ya, contohnya nih, gaya Mediterania. Itu umumnya itu mereka kan flat, kotak, lengkung, terakota, cantik. Nah, mereka ini sangat minim overhang, tritisan yang biasa ada di Bali. Di Bali kita punya konsep triangle, kaki, badan, kepala, gitu kan ada itu. Nah, kaki ini harus proporsinya harus naik dari tanah, biar air nggak masuk, biar kelembapan nggak masuk, nggak merusak bangunan. Tapi di Mediterania itu nggak terjadi, semua flat ke tanah, bla bla bla. Akhirnya dampaknya waktu hujan, dinding langsung basah, rusak lebih cepat, jamur. Dan mereka kan menggunakan plester, lime wash, yang berbeda ala Merauke kayak gitu. Memang cantik, tapi mudah kotor, berjamur, dan memerlukan reapply yang sangat sering. Jadi kan Bukit Vista ini kan sangat dekat dengan check-in check-out ya.
Ya,
Itu kan
betul.
pasti langsung ribut dan sebagainya waktu check-in check-out. Nah, bayangkan di hotel klien kami, itu saat tamu sudah check out, housekeeping datang masuk, mereka lihat ada odol jatuh ke lantai. Biasanya kan tinggal bersihin aja nih, tanya keramik atau apa, tegel. Nah ini pakai plester terakota itu. Jadinya waktu dibersihin, mereka meresap. Bahan ini berpori-pori lalu meresap. Jadi nggak bisa dibersihin, beneran nggak bisa dibersihin. Solusinya adalah reapply, painting lagi. Jadi setiap tamu check-in masuk itu seperti baru karena memang dicat ulang. Bahayanya itu kan ya aromanya selalu
Ya bau cat.
ya, bau cat gitu ya. Dan di sisi housekeeping itu merepotkan sekali.
Ya.
Nah, masalah-masalah ini itu jarang terjadi di arsitektur yang mengadopsi budaya Bali. Karena ya arsitektur Bali memang lahir dari pemahaman iklim tropis. Inilah alasan mengapa hotel-hotel seperti Taman Villa, Bali Beach Hotel itu dapat bertahan puluhan tahun karena memang di satu sisi mereka menggunakan material yang sangat mudah dirawat dan desainnya juga timeless. Jadi kita taruh bangunan itu di era apapun itu cocok gitu. Jadi ini agak unik ya antara ROI cepat atau operasional yang berjangka waktu lama. Itu sih.
Oke. Jadi emang kalau dari sisi pengalaman Kak Nizar sendiri, apakah ada ini follow up questions ya Kak?
Oke.
Apakah ada desain yang optimize gitu, di mana dia memang tidak mudah untuk sedikit mudah untuk dirawat ataupun sedikit lebih lambat masalah ROI-nya, tapi mudah untuk dirawat, yang ada optimize desain nggak untuk kalau misalnya kita mau bikin properti di Bali gitu?
optimize desainnya mungkin ya untuk era sekarang ini karena orang juga mulai bosan dengan yang viral-viral, mereka akhirnya kembali ke budaya Bali itu.
Hmm.
Jadi mungkin optimize-nya adalah menggabungkan teknologi sekarang. Ya, memang canggih modern dengan budaya Bali itu. Arsitektur Bali. Jadi memang karena arsitektur Bali itu kan sudah terbukti handal terhadap iklim. Nah, itu kita tunjang dengan style modern yang memang juga sesuai dengan konteks global. Agar tidak terjadi seperti klien saya itu, di mana hotel lama akhirnya dibeli dan diubah menjadi sesuatu yang baru. Padahal harapannya kan, oke, ini hotel lama Bali, kita optimize lagi agar selaras dengan konteks sekarang.
Oke, begitu ya. Oke, jadi memang mungkin kedepannya jadi tren itu ya penggabungan itu ya berarti ya Kak ya, antara
Iya.
teknologi dan kultur dari Balinya sendiri. Oke, Kak, kita lanjut ke pertanyaan kedua, yaitu apa kesalahan paling umum yang dilakukan ketika melakukan sebuah proyek yang sustainable di lokasi yang tropis kepulauan dan ada prinsip atau aturan dari pengambilan keputusan yang harus diterapkan supaya hal-hal seperti itu dapat dihindari.
Oke. Kalau ngomongin sustainable ke owner, itu biasanya mereka udah takut duluan. Karena kesalahan paling umum itu dari persepsi mereka itu, mereka menyamakan sustainability itu dengan kata mahal.
Oh.
Nah, padahal dalam bahasa Indonesia itu kan memang sustainable ini kan term yang sangat menarik ya. Kamu taruh di website atau apa, we are a sustainable hotel atau sustainable company, itu udah kayak keren banget. Padahal kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia itu sustainable ini kan artinya kayak lestari ya.
Ya.
Lestari itu bagaimana bangunan dapat bertahan dan berfungsi dengan baik dalam jangka waktu yang lama. Di lapangan sustainable itu sering diterjemahkan sebagai kayak solar panel atau sistem daur ulang air yang sangat mahal, teknologi kompleks kayak battery room dan sebagainya. Padahal kan di konteks kepulauan itu seperti Bali ini kunci keberlanjutan, kelestarian.
Ya.
Itu justru ada di keputusan desain dasarnya, malah bangunan ya harus merespon iklim tropis. Nah, iklim tropis itu kalau di Bali ini kan kayak panas, lembab, hujan. Kemarin kita kena siklon. Nah, gimana caranya bangunan itu merespon itu? Kalau sekarang kan bangunan sudah pasti wajib AC kan.
Ya,
Nah, itu gimana caranya biar penggunaan AC tidak berlebihan? Nah, itu dengan cara bangunan itu nggak boleh memposisikan diri menerima terlalu banyak cahaya matahari. Jadinya outdoor AC-nya nggak kepanasan, lalu posisi AC-nya. Nah, itu ada standar-standarnya. Nah, sebenarnya sustainability itu ada di situ, di planning dan desainnya. Bagaimana kita merespon iklim itu. Lalu dengan overhang. Kayak tadi bangunan Mediterania nggak ada overhang, padahal di Bali itu kan hujan itu nggak turun 90 derajat,
Ya.
tapi 45, kadang 30, tergantung anginnya yang dibawakan. Hanya itu harus punya overhang yang cukup. Lalu kalau ke sini pintunya harus agak naik. Nah, itu yang bisa menjadikan sustainable karena akhirnya desain bangunannya juga tahan lama. Dan itu kan tentang desainnya. Ada lagi kesalahan lain itu adalah penggunaan material yang tidak bisa dirawat secara lokal. Nah, kalau di Bali ini sebenarnya enak. Bali ini hampir tidak bisa dikategorikan sebagai kepulauan. Hampir. Karena Bali ini sangat terhubung dengan Jawa. Jadi ada masalah dikit, tinggal ke Jawa, tinggal tarik sesuatu dari Jawa, mudah. Kita punya ferry, ya kita punya ferry dan sebagainya, akses jalannya mudah. Tapi ini berbeda kalau ini konteksnya di Sumba, di apa itu mungkin di Banda Neira, Ternate dan sebagainya. Itu memang kepulauan. Nah, kalau material-material yang digunakan tidak bisa dirawat secara lokal, ya akhirnya misalnya dinding ini rusak gitu kan. Karena ini ada sesuatu yang niche, viral, berbeda, kita harus panggil dari Jakarta. Orang dari Jakarta, oke, saya akan kirim orang. Mereka harus flight, jauh, transit, dan sebagainya. Akhirnya carbon footprint-nya tinggi.
Betul.
Nah, itu menjadi tanggung jawab kita sebagai planner agar bangunan itu bisa dirawat dan dipertanggungjawabkan oleh pulau itu sendiri. Nggak terlalu bergantung pada yang di luar pulau, jadi bisa dirawat secara lokal. Nah, saya mungkin ada yang tahu hotel-hotel aman,
Ya.
kan ada itu di Jogja Aman Jiwo, di
Ya.
Magelang.
Magelang.
Di Magelang ada Aman Jiwo itu. Nah, saya itu kemarin lagi cari material di area Magelang. Jadi saya nggak ke Aman Jiwo, tapi saya ke pengrajin-pengrajin di sekitarnya, karena memang saya yang butuh kan. Saya cari teraso, cari batu-batu dan sebagainya. Nah, mereka cerita ternyata masing-masing pengrajin ini dalam radius mungkin 10 km, mereka itu ternyata mensupport Aman Jiwo ini. Jadi saya tanya, Pak, ini terasonya apa? Oh, ini yang saya pakai di Aman Jiwo itu. Loh, Bapak Aman Jiwo? Iya, saya ke sana tiap 1 bulan, Pak, untuk maintenance biar terasonya bisa tetap terjaga.
Ya.
Nah, ini saya pikir, wah, Aman Jiwo bisa menjaga perawatan maintenance dalam radius 10 km. Nah, saya malah justru jauh-jauh ke sini. Nah, bayangkan saya butuh maintenance, saya harus undang dari Muntilan.
Ya.
Akhirnya nggak sustainable juga kan. Nah, yang berhasil itu justru di intensi dari Aman Jiwo ini. Nah, itu salah satu sustainability yang mungkin bisa ditekankan ya. Jadi untuk dalam sebuah kepulauan itu sesuai konteks, tahan lama, dan bisa dirawat oleh orang lokal.
Itu ya, jadi kalau bisa saya simpulkan, sustainable ini bukanlah sesuatu yang berhubungan dengan teknologi kompleks, tapi bisa lebih ke fondasinya, bahwa ya itu harus sustain, harus lestari, berkelanjutan, dengan cara ya salah satunya berkolaborasi dengan sekitar, kebutuhan material, baik pengrajin ataupun lain-lainnya ya, kayak Kanizar ya.
Ya, jadi kalau bahasa kerennya itu kontekstual. Dan segala. Tapi kalau udah ada uang cukup, boleh sih ke Selat Senang.
Ya, kalau ada dana berlebih ya.
Betul.
Oke, Kanizar, kita lanjut ke pertanyaan terakhir, yaitu jika Kak Nizar dapat memberikan saran pada Bukit Vista, apa 3 standar desain yang tidak bisa ditawar, yang secara konsisten dapat menghasilkan ulasan yang lebih baik, sekaligus mempunyai beban perawatan dan operasional? Ya, mungkin ini salah satu yang nyambung dengan follow up question saya sebelumnya, Kak.
Iya, apa itu? Mungkin nyambung nih, kalau yang standar pertama itu yang nggak bisa ditawar, tadi iklim tropis. Okupansi selama 1 tahun itu udah jelas tuh. 6 bulan cerah, 6 bulan hujan. Itu nggak bisa ditawar lagi. Jadi bangunan harus merespon itu, konteks itu, iklim yang benar, pakai cross ventilation, shading overhang, transisi indoor-outdoor-nya. Soalnya kan kadang di bangunan Bali yang lama, bahkan yang baru, antara lobi dan kamar itu kan beda bangunan. Jadi kalau hujan ya hujanan.
Ya.
Nah, itu kadang beberapa tamu nggak suka. Tapi ya ini Bali, kalau kamu emang basah ya basah. Tuh, secara kasarnya gitu. Tapi memang nggak harus dipaksakan, harus ada pergolakan dan apa. Tapi semisal ya kita ada transisi indoor dan outdoor, di mana tamu pasti akan kehujanan, itu kita pastikan tamu itu kehujanan dengan nyaman. Sediakan payung yang cukup besar, misalnya ini adult hotel berarti kemungkinan couple, payung yang cukup untuk couple. Kalau ini family hotel berarti payung yang cukup untuk family. Nah, biasanya ibu, anak, bapak, anak kayak gitu kan. Nah, kita pastikan pengalaman antara lobby ke kamar mereka. Itu mereka hujan-hujanan tapi cantik gitu. Jadi mereka merasakan, oh ternyata hujan di Bali ini romantis ya. Ternyata beda ya hujan di sini sama hujan di US gitu. Semacam itu. Nah, itu suatu intensi kecil kita menyediakan payung, tapi dampaknya bisa menjadi ulasan yang baik. Jadi bukan aku kehujanan di hotel ini, anakku basah dan sebagainya. Itu enggak. Lalu standar kedua ini yang penting banget, itu adalah MEP, mechanical, electrical, dan plumbing yang tepat. Karena MEP ini kan nggak terlihat oleh tamu, tapi juga kadang nggak terlihat oleh ownernya sendiri. Jadi kita waktu ada trouble di mechanical, plumbing atau apapun, kita juga bingung, owner juga bingung, semuanya bingung. Nah, padahal ini kan sangat penting. Jadi memang idealnya harus dijaga dari waktu planning. Waktu planning harus dijaga, plumbing di sini, pipa di sini, AC di sini, maintenance-nya mudah, dan sebagainya. Nah, kalau misalnya ada satu bagian itu rusak dan tidak bisa diperbaiki oleh teknisi lokal, itu menjadi masalah besar. Padahal misalnya tamu AC ini nggak bisa nyala, itu kan tamu mengharapkan itu bisa dibenerin dalam waktu kurang dari 5 menit kan. Dan itu juga terjadi di toilet mampet, di sink. Jadi menjadi sangat penting untuk mempersiapkan mechanical dan electrical plumbing yang tepat dan mudah
Rawat ya Kak.
rawat. Nah, yang ketiga, standar ketiga itu mungkin di housekeeping. Kalau dari kami arsitek, kadang arsitek itu suka nyiksa housekeeping. Jadi banyak desain yang bagus, cantik, dan living room luas, dan sebagainya. Tapi housekeepingnya kecil, atau bahkan nggak ada. Nggak ada tempat bagi misalnya staff housekeeping, misalnya mereka habis cleaning dan untuk istirahat. Untuk istirahat. Kan mereka juga butuh makan siang. Mereka nggak ada ruang untuk makan siang. Lalu ada lagi yang butuh beribadah, apapun agamanya. Mereka nggak ada ruang untuk ibadah. Kalau di Bali, maka harus dibuatkan ruang ibadah juga, dan sebagainya. Nah, kenyamanan housekeeping itu akan mempermudah di kualitas hotel atau villanya itu sendiri. Soalnya jadi staff jadi lebih mudah, punya akses sendiri, lalu mereka bisa dengan mudah membersihkan area-area yang enggak terlihat dan sebagainya. Karena finishing misalnya materialnya enggak rumit, mereka membersihkannya dengan mudah, lalu mereka bisa istirahat dengan baik. Itu bisa berdampak pada cleaning time yang lebih cepat, staffnya juga konsisten, lebih konsisten mental dan kesehatannya juga. Nah, misalnya kita nggak bisa makan siang dan apa-apa, kita jadi harus ke warung, skip dan apa-apa. Nanti tiba-tiba stafnya marah dan sebagainya. Itu kan manusiawi. Akhirnya itu ya, kesimpulannya mungkin ulasan tamu itu yang baik itu lahir dari kenyamanan yang konsisten.
Ya. Berarti kalau bisa lebih conclude lagi, experience untuk tamunya, lalu kemudahan maintenance dan kelayakan untuk housekeeping itu sangat berpengaruh berarti ya Kak ya, untuk bagaimana sebuah properti untuk mendapatkan hasil yang lebih baik dan dan ulasan yang lebih baik ke depannya, lebih stabil.
Ya, pada akhirnya ya tamu itu mencerminkan housekeeping-nya. Kalau housekeeping-nya merengut semua, nggak makan, nggak nyaman, ya tamunya mungkin juga merasakan hal yang sama.
Oke, kalau begitu Kak Nizar, terima kasih banyak atas insight-insight-nya, pengalaman-pengalamannya, dan ini sangat membantu juga dari sisi arsitektur. Kita melihat bagaimana sebuah properti itu bisa memberikan impact bagi tamu dan review bagi tamu dan review calon-calon tamu ke depannya gitu. Jadi Kak Nizar, kebetulan untuk inspirational speaker session hari ini sudah selesai. Jadi saya sebagai host mempersilahkan Kak Nizar kalau misalnya memang tidak ada agenda untuk bisa mengikuti kegiatan All Hands ini, tapi kalau misalnya ada agenda lain, tidak apa-apa Kak untuk bisa leave duluan juga tidak ada masalah, begitu Kak.
Oke, saya terima kasih banyak sudah diundang. Semoga ada sesuatu yang bisa dipetik. Saya mohon maaf kalau ada salah kata. Mungkin setelah ini saya ada agenda, jadi saya pamit duluan ya.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Kak Nizar.
Oke, terima kasih banyak semua.
Terima kasih Mas Nizar.
Good luck ya. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Okay, next we move to the next session from Mr. Jing. Mr. Jing, floor is yours.
Okay, so hi everyone.
Hello. Hi.
All right, how's everyone doing?
Good day, Mr. Chair. Good.
Okay, let's do this. This is probably a more meaningful way to take the last all hands of the year than to listen to me speak. Okay, so here, I want everyone to think about last year. Okay, or this year still, but it's going to be last year in just 3 days, and try to use one word to summarize it, and then give one word for what you think next year is going to bring. Okay, now I know we have a tendency to be safe and just say what the last person said, but I'm really looking for inspiration here. I'm looking for somebody who has like a different opinion. Okay, all right, shall we begin? All right, let's start with okay, since Kyla's on my lower left, let's start with Kyla. Kyla, what's your word for last year? What's your word for next year? Is Kyla here?
Kayla going to toilet, sir. Maybe we can choose another one.
All right, let's go with Kanza. Kanza's on my top. Kanza, then Artie, then Rama. Okay, let's go. Kanza, what's your word for last year?
Okay, for last year, I would say experience,
Okay.
and for next year, I would say challenging.
All right, okay. Experience 2025, challenging 2026. Okay,
Yes.
so we're gonna go across. If you're last, that I guess I'm last now. Then just be ready. Okay. Next, Artie.
Okay, for me last year, learning.
Okay.
And 2026, mastering.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Learning last year, mastering next year. All right, Rama.
Last year for me was a crazy year. So yeah, crazy.
Okay.
Next year, I hope for transforming.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Crazy and transformative. All right. Fashion.
For me, this year has been very eventful. Very obscene.
Okay.
And next year, I actually expect to be very exciting.
Good. Okay. Excellent. Eventful and exciting. All right. Reza.
For me, I think for the last year is the learning,
Okay.
and for the next year, I think it's more be like study, like more
Okay.
studying.
Okay. All right. Learning and then hopefully more stability and steady. Okay. Good. Hafiz.
Last year was a disruption. And next year, is manifesting.
Okay,
Oh,
good. Disruption, investing. All right, those go together. Gani.
Last year, wisdom. Next year, opportunity.
Okay, all right, good one. All right, cool. Wisdom and opportunity. Egg up.
Okay, for me, last year is adaptation, and
Mm.
next year is maybe excellence.
What next year is excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. All right, excellence. All right, great.
Are you saying great or me?
Great. You.
Oh, okay, me. All right. So last year I think the word will be revamping.
Okay.
And next year I think will be stabilizing.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Let's hope. Jason.
Yep. For the last year, I would say adapting, and then
Okay.
for the next year,
Okay.
Growing.
Growing. Okay. All right. Very good. Lippy.
For 2025, I would say research. 2026, strengthen.
Okay. Good. Research strengthen. Bella.
This year I think more into Fortify, like same as strong. And for the next year, I think more into a breakthrough.
Okay. I hope so too. All right. Vinny.
Last year will be reform, and next year will be rebuild.
Okay. Reform, rebuild. All right. Nadia.
2025 for me will be alignment, and
Mhm.
perhaps 2026 expansion.
Okay. All right. We all hope so too. Okay. Burkhan.
Last year was unexpected, and next year would be adventurous.
Next year is what?
Adventurous.
Adventurous. Okay. All right. Very good. Bye.
Last year is build and
Okay.
stable.
Okay.
Next year, hopefully multiply.
Okay. Build, stable, multiply. All right. That's 3 words. All right, Carla.
I think last year would be lesson learned.
Okay.
And hopefully in 2026, more opportunities.
Okay. All right. Learning opportunities. Okay, good. I'm going to skip over Ganesh, but if you're there, Ganesh, you can speak up after David. Yeah, David. Can't hear David. Okay. Back to Ganesh then. Back to Ganesh, and then we'll let David get his mic fixed. Yeah. Ganesh.
For this year, exhausting, and next year hopefully I'm growing.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Exhausting and then growing. Okay. David, you ready this time?
Yep. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
yep. Last year was resilience, and next year breakthrough.
Okay. All right. Very good. Robin.
I'm sorry, me?
Yeah, no, they're the other Robin. No, it's you. Yeah, you're the only Robin here.
Same as everyone. 2025 learning and 2026 improving.
Okay, got it. All right, Jason.
I'd say last year was like sort of like experience, and
Okay.
next year is opportunities, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, experience, opportunities, and my wife, babe. What about you? You're muted, babe.
I think last year for me is a lot of learning new skill like aerial drone. But I think in the future we can scale up.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll try to sum this up. Let's just go with what the company is about. Last year, inspire, and I hope this year we will delight in the upcoming year. Okay, that's it. Thank you all for this journey. This year has been very inspirational. The amount of work that we've been able to do with such a small team. Very few people have been able to do it. Everywhere I go, everyone is astounded how far we've come and how in the very front of any industry we've actually progressed to. It's pretty amazing that we've been able to get to where we got to. The year has been challenging, of course, because as you know, and as everyone knows, there's been churn, there's been targets missed. And I think what I hope for in the next year is that we think more about how to delight. We think more about how to have fun. Okay. Now, there is infrastructure work. One of my friends is an infrastructure engineer here at Google, actually, and that needs to be done. And we hope that that can be more fun to do too, as well, as we use stronger and stronger tools to stabilize. But I think the company has a huge amount of opportunity ahead in thinking about how to actually make magic happen for everyone. Okay, so see you guys in a few days in 2026. And yeah, it's been a very, very delightful journey this year with everyone on board. Okay, I'll give it to the next person speaking.
Okay, sir, thank you for your speaking for the new year announcement. Okay, next we move to Kak Fasya as moderator. Kak Fasya, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mas Ardi, and thank you, Pak Jun, for the inspirational yearly reevaluation. Next up is we're going to go to Mas Hafiz for our hospitality and revenue target. Mas Ardi, if you don't mind, please share the screen. Oh, vision and mission, I believe.
Yes, thank you, Mas Ardi, and good morning, everyone. So this is our last all hands in 2025. So this is the last update for the semester on this year. Yes, and this is our new on-board property, which is Casamiria 1. This property already launched at 22 December and already received booking until January 16. So congratulations for the onboarding team, and let's keep the release train stable and keep inspiring delight as well to partner, to guests, and to our team as well. Okay, next. So this is the semester 8 target. For the revenue target adjusted to $3,004,099, and hospitality target at 87% 5-star rating, brand target of partner stability and at $170,000. Next. For the hospitality target achievement, for the first metric, for the accuracy for this week of the semester, got a decrease by 0.4%. Next. And these are the properties that are contributing to the non-5-star reviews this week. There are several properties. There are 21 non-5-star reviews we received this week. Next. And these are the MSM that strategized by Gani and Gray, delegated to me, to Hafiz. Next. For the check-in, stagnant compared to the last week at 90.7%. Next. And these are the properties that are contributing to the non-5-star review, only 11 properties. Some of them are non-5-star review, 3-star and 1-star. Next. And for cleanliness, decreased by 0.2%. Next. And also these are the properties that contributing to the cleanliness decrease this week. Next. And these are the MSMs that I believe some of them still continue and on progress. Next. For the communication, got a decrease by 0.3%. Next. And these are the properties that contributing to the decrease of the communication matrix this week. Next. The location got the decrease as well by 0.3%. Next. And these are the properties that contributing to the location, which is quite high by 34 properties. Next. The value got a decrease as well by 0.3%. Next. And these are the properties that contributing to the non-5 star on the value matrix. Next. And these are the MSMs that in this month to support the revenue and value as well. Next. How about the overall quality? Overall quality, we got decrease compared to the last week. Last week we at 86.6. For this week, we are at 86.2. Next. And these are the MSMs that I believe supporting to the overall rating. Next. How about this week? We starting at 22 December and next. And this is the breakdown of each days, the percentage 5-star reviews that we received. So we only receive once that or just exiting the target. So all the other days are below the target. So that's why the overall quality is decreasing. Next. And these are the properties that contributing to the non-5-star reviews on this week. Next. For the next session, I'll pass it to Furqan for his yours.
Okay, thank you, Mas Hafiz. Good morning, everyone. So there is no update on the brand or partnership budget up until this week, so we can move it forward into the revenue target achievement. So for the revenue target achievement, our current state is 1.6 million USD. There is an increase around 100K compared to last week. We still have around 92 days or around 3 months to achieve the revenue adjusted target at 3 million USD, 4,099 USD. So that is a brief report. I will break down the monthly target in the company team target achievements with the permission of Fasya taking over directly over to the next session. So moving forward into the company team and also target achievements. This is the last all hands for not only for December but also for the 2025. However, our monthly target progression is not that exciting. As we can see, most of the targets are off track except the brand target. Let's deep dive into each one by one. The first one is the revenue target. We are currently at 86.1% to achieve the target. So if you take a look at the MSMs provided, there are 2 MSMs that is being put this month that is actually working, impacting, at least generating into more revenue progress. That is the combination between Bella, Nadia, and also Furqan and also Hafiz. Moving forward into the next target, which is the 5-star percentage. 5-star percentage is the metric that is going downtrend. Last week it was on the on-track state and now being off-track due to the issues that also Mas Hafiz a little bit elaborated in the report earlier. So the top 3 contributing factors in the downtrend are value, accuracy, and also location. And there are actually several MSMs already being put in place but like 50% of them are not impactful. This is the collaboration between Bayu, Rama, Fasya, Furqan, Gray, and also Fasha and also Rama again. So these are the MSMs that is not impactful, and there is a delayed or still in progress MSM activities in collaboration from Gani, Hafiz, and also Gray, and also Fasha as well. So hopefully this could recover or expected to be recovered for the loss in the several metrics that we have seen earlier. Next up, we have the brand target. This is still remains the same. However, Wayana, can you please mute your mic because I believe it's echoing on my side. Thank you. So for the MSM activities contributing into the brand target, because there's no update. However, I would like to emphasize that we have deemed the improvement on the operational competency as the is as no impact, because we still have several issues related into that, and also a bit of raising on partner sentiment, and the rest still being in collaboration with Mas Titan and also Ardi in developing the Thea as the game designer. So on top of that, we also have still the improvement on the finance reporting that is strategized by Bella in collaboration with VD and also myself. So yep, that's related to the brand target. And next up, regarding the starting revenue target for January, still on progress at 85.1% up until this point. And there are several contributing MSM into this target completion. The first one is in the collaboration from Gani and also Reza, and the second one is the collaboration between from Bayu and also Titan. Several still classified on progress and several already impacting. However, need to be account there also may be latency to actually see the result and directly seeing and type it into this target. So that's the overall December 2025 target recap. So what are our opportunities so far? We managed to have 70% occupancy with 23% expired dates, 3% maintenance, and also 1% owner research so far. In these 2 days, we still have 3% nets available to be sold. So that's the updates. I would like also to emphasize that if we hit the 91% of the revenue target, there is a eligible bonus which Rama also has announced into the Slack announcement channel, but it will be, what is it called, delivered on January 2026 if there is a positive trend has been shown on the revenue progress. So there is the report that I would like to deliver. Thank you very much. Fasha, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mas Furqan. Thank you so much for the update on the company theme and target. We're moving forward to the weekly mission and inspiration. First up is the Book and Business mission is to inspire delight through hospitality and vision that positively transform our partners. First up is Lutfi. Lutfi.
This week, we expanded our dynamic pricing toolkit by adding a tool that positions our prices relative to the median market price, starting with the festive dates. So this shifts pricing decisions from simply, did we discount, to the more meaningful question of where we sit in the market. What we learn is that discounting works when it crosses a real competitiveness threshold. For festive periods, that boundary appears around 54% of the median market price. Discounts that stay above this line rarely change outcomes, while crossing it delivers a higher likelihood of occupancy gains. This number is period specific, not universal, and the real value of the tool is helping us identify and act on the right threshold for each market condition. By avoiding ineffective discounts, we can convert inventory more efficiently towards our revenue targets. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Lutfi. And I believe you have delivered the how it would impact our revenue. Yes.
Okay. So the next one is, this week we observed a counterintuitive outcome. A listing that is strong on paper, high reviews and rating, guest favorite, and superhost actually lost festive bookings around Christmas and New Year's to nearby listings that were objectively inferior. High quality listings did not fail, but they were outpaced at the moment of decision. Our current knowledge has been to uplift guest favorite prices relative to non-guest favorite listings. But based on what we observe, we are refining this approach. For festive periods, the guest favorite price uplift is released and prices will be aligned with non-guest favorite listings to remain competitive. By preventing the high quality listings from being outpriced at the moment of decision, we can convert more festive demand into revenue. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Lutfi. Next up is Mas Reza.
Okay, thank you, Kak Fasya. So this is the new feature of the Budi, which is the automatic language detection. So with this feature, the language of each lead's conversation is recognized and recorded in HubSpot automatically. This is ensure that the on-slate become the partner and transitions to Thea. The response is always in the correct language, avoiding the communication errors. And this is will maintain the high quality engagement with partner, increases partner satisfaction, positively impact our revenue and overall target achievement. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Reza. And how would this impact our revenue or hospitality target?
I think it's because this is will maintain the good engagement of our partner. I think it's will be more smoothly to our communication between our team and our partner. So I think this is will increase the good improvement for the property performance. I think that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mas Reza. Next up is Mas Furqan for the improvement of financial report adoption.
Okay, thank you, Fasya. This is just a small step, but with possibly a bigger result. So we have not used the other as the expense category in the financial record to make sure that our partner is informed correctly on what their budget is spent into which categorization. This leads into the better analysis and of course eventually could also prevent churn through the correct analysis and also accountable and also responsible spending that can be explained to the partner. So I would like to recognize Bella to finding it and also strategizing the MSM activity, and also thank you to Fasya, David, and also Ganesh for the implementation and also delivering this to the housekeeping captain, also apprentice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Furqan. And how would you see this, and how would you see as like how would impact our revenue or hospitality target?
This actually falls into churn within our churn target. So through the better categorization, we do see later on better financial report analysis and also could prevent the unexplained or unresponsible budget spend, making sure the transparency with the owner is maintained.
See, all right. Well, more transparency to the partner would lead to having less more clear communication with them. Okay, I believe that's all for the Inspire Delight, because I don't see any transformation through employees nor innovation, technological innovation, which leaves us to the core value recognition. Mas Ardi? I see that we also don't have core value recognition today, and that's all right too. We're moving to the announcement. I guess we have time for personal updates. Rama, do we still have time for personal updates? No personal
No.
updates. Okay. Well, I believe that's all for our all hands today. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to hand this over back to Mas Ardi. Mas Ardi.
Okay, thank you. That's all the session from all personal updates in all session in all hands meeting in 2025. And in several days, we have a New Year's and new spirit and everything new. new innovation and new property, new guests, and everything new in 2026. Okay, thank you everyone for coming in all hands meeting. Thank you.
Also,
Oh,
guys,
wait, Artie, before you go, here, I want to show everybody something, okay? This is a new fun update, and hopefully this is delightful, okay? Like we said about earlier. So if I can take control of the screen. So during the mission and vision update, I'm sure a lot of you are probably trying to understand what the people who invented these innovations are talking about, right? And it can be a little bit confusing, okay? Would you guys like to see a little magic trick that can help understanding and help spread more delight?
Yes, sure.
Okay, let me show you this, okay? So how about this now? What I did was I took the weekly inspiration, I passed it through Gemini, and now Lutvi, okay, does this get the idea that you're trying to describe across?
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good overall picture.
Okay, so now we can visualize what we are talking about. Let's keep on going. Furkan, does this visualize what you're talking about?
Yes, actually, that's pretty accurate.
Okay, all right, cool. And I think there was one more with Booty's update, yeah? So let me see who brought that update. Was that Reza? Reza,
Reza.
does this, yeah, Reza, does this visualize what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. I think that's accurate.
Okay, very good. Okay, so hopefully that's delightful. And like I said, the inspiration from last year can be turned into delight for next year. So we have a lot of really superior knowledge, a lot of really good information, and a lot of really interesting people here. Okay, and hopefully that demonstration can help you guys all become more delightful too by expressing yourself in a visual vocabulary and using design to your advantage. Okay, I wish everyone a happy 2026 for New Year's, and also thank you for all your contributions for 2025. Boca Vista is indeed a better company because you guys have worked hard to make it what it is today. Okay, all right, see you guys.
Okay, see you everything.
see you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't forget to fill out your personal updates.